Hello from the land of TV. This is King Cool. Welcome to the Toast Reviews. And we're back in the penalty box, as you can see. If you saw last week, I didn't watch anything. So this time, I had to watch Turbo, a Power Rangers movie. Maybe I should introduce the show first. I'm getting mixed up. I'm tired. Normally I watch something every week and I make some toast while I talk about it, but the thing was, I didn't watch anything last week, so I drew out of the penalty box, and I got that movie. So that's what we're going to talk about today, since I started doing them as toast reviews. And today, we have strawberry strudel wafflers. No syrup needed. I'll be the judge of that, you pieces of crap. Here we go. Alright, for a Power Rangers movie, there's not a lot of Power Rangers in this. I mean, the people are there, but they're not really in costume much. Like I noted 3 times, I'm like, okay, 20 minutes in is the first time someone morphs. And they're on this island, and they say that it's supposed to be Africa, and someone says, oh, it looks a lot like Australia. And I'm like, well, I think this is because they shoot this in New Zealand. I'm not certain if they did shot the movie there. And she's hanging on this branch, and she's gonna fall, because the branch snaps. But she grabs her morpher and morphs before she hits the water. But then when she's in the water, she's back to regular. Maybe I missed something, but she's back to regular form. And then it's like, oh, she broke her leg. I'm like, how did she break her leg hitting water? Because it was high, but it's water. I'm like, I don't know. I would have just jumped down or given it a shot if I'm hanging onto a branch. So then that didn't make a lot of sense. And then they all morph when they get their new turbo morphers. Cause I think this is a prequel to the TV show. But then they morph and then they hop out of their cars. The Zords are literally cars this time. Because apparently I think the show that it was cut from, the turbo thing, was a parody of this sort of show. I'm going to turn this down so it doesn't burn. And then they hop out of the cars, and then they're riding on a ghost ship for a while to get to this new land that they got to stop Divatox in. Divatox is the new main bad lady, and she's pretty annoying. I've actually seen one episode, of Power Rangers Turbo, and it was one where there was like a baseball-themed bad guy, like Batter Up or some crap. And that's the thing, is like, the shows are formulaic, but they're fairly brisk watches most of the time. This movie, it's about 100. It's about 100 minutes. The thing says it's shorter, but it's about 100 minutes, and not a whole lot happens during this stuff. Occasionally, there's action scenes where people are jumping around and stuff, and like it's really baffling. I've heard this movie apparently was a lot longer. The first cut of it was just enormous. So they've cut out a bunch of other stuff. But like the main thrust of the plot is Divatox is trying to get to this place and wake up some ancient demon. And we eventually get there, but it's like it takes like 1 hour and 10 to get there. Just other stuff just keeps getting in the way. It's not terrible, even the stuff that they have. But it's like they just are in no darn hurry. And I'm like, well, a movie that was allegedly cut down, they didn't really cut it up like, remember Tarzan of the Lost City? They would like cut scenes short to just, we gotta get this movie as short as possible. They weren't doing that here, which is sort of a relief, but what else? How are you? You can go a little longer. At one point, they're fighting on the boat, and they throw the guy, like, there's a glass guy, and Jason David Frank, who's back in this one, he's the Red Ranger of the Turbo, apparently. He just does a bunch of stuff without hitting the guy, and then goes, boo! And the guy goes, ah! And he runs to the end of the ship. But I don't think the guy in that giant costume can actually jump off the ship himself, so he sort of, like, goes up there, and then someone has to push him over. And I'm sort of like, okay, that was pretty funny. I don't know if there's like stegosauruses. I don't know if they were the bad guys of the season, but they're, they just sort of appear, they throw them off the boat, and then they move on with their lives. The Blue Ranger is actually a kid. He's like 14 or so, 12 or 14 or something. And when he morphs, he turns into an adult. he turns into like a regular sized person. And I'm like, what the hell? Is this why the first Yellow Ranger like did not have boobs when they were in the Sentai footage? You know, if you don't know, the first Yellow Ranger in the show was a guy, but they made her a girl to sort of make it more more diverse. Alright, you guys are getting pretty darn toasty. Now, wouldn't it be nice to spread these things with some more strawberry flavor? Well, I don't have it. I have apricot preserve, so that's what we're going to do. If you don't like it, well, complain to your congressman or something. That's what I say. They're going to be like, what are you even talking about? Alright, Bulk and Skull make their appearance. But they don't do a lot, because they get brainwashed pretty early in the story. And I'm sort of like, I was like, well, why include them if they're going to get brainwashed? Because they don't really get to do a whole lot. Maybe they did in the other cuts. But, you know, whatever gets the butts into the seats, I guess. Because, like, I don't have any animosity for this movie. I didn't really find this punishing at all. I've watched way worse kids' movies at this point. And the action is acceptable, you know. It's not great, but they do actually let the camera linger on people for a little while they're fighting, because the people who they have are actually good martial artists. That's the thing sort of weird about the kid. Is, I mean, maybe the kid is a martial artist. He fought a little bit when he was unmorphed. But I'm not totally sure, you know, that was just really baffling. Let me look at my notes real quick. So yeah, when we finally see the guys actually fight as the Rangers, it's 70 minutes into this movie. It's like, wow, there's a lot of this, which, there's not a lot of Power Rangers in this Power Rangers movie, weirdly. And there is a lot of people talking when they're not on screen. I think just to fill in stuff that wasn't assembled right, just trying to hobble together something out of it. But at the end of the day, it's not you know, I'm not going to say it's not that bad. It really wasn't. Maybe it shouldn't have belonged in the penalty box, but I have I have a strata of things in there. Some things are really good, well, not really good, but some things are bad, some things are dreadful, some things are just things I personally don't want to see. But I'm going to eat and hear this, and I will see you all next time. Let's hope I don't falter again anytime soon. But thank you all for watching. This is King Cool, and please drive home safe.